Alright, welcome back to the Demon Souls speedrunning tutorial series that I'm doing here. In this video I'm going to show you how to do the Latria skip. Okay, we're good. And, wow. And the arrow trap skip, which should be a little bit more familiar, people should be a little more familiar with.
Help me.
Just from casual players, this is one of the arrow trap skips, one of those things that a lot of people just know about from, you know, just word of ear. It's not actually that hard to do, but I'll show you in this video as well. But yeah, so say bye to our little friend Rydell. We'll come back for you someday, because now I'm going to show you how to get to where you performed Latria skip real quick. I realized I actually have to load up a file, so actually I'm going to actually did that. Now I'm going to show you again what happens, but yeah, not quite. Yeah, not quite. Okay. So first of all, obviously go to 3-1. That's where you need to do. You do need to go grab one key real quick before you do that. You need to grab the one in the 4. Yeah, I'll just show it. You know what? I'll just show where you get it. I've already grabbed it, but yeah, you need to go that way. But before you do that, you need to go grab a key over here. So I'll show that first. Quick note, very quick note, just as the same as spider skip, you can't do this skip in 60 FPS emulator. You can do this in console and 30 FPS, but you cannot do this in 60 FPS. It's the same for the same reason that if your falling is tied to like the speed at which you fall is tied to frame rate. For the same reason you can't do the skip in 60, so that is why we do a magic route. So here's the key would be, how I already got it though, so we're just gonna go back. Next hit binding is the fastest way to go back, both RTA and IGT. So assuming you don't have souls to lose, just go do that. Go back inside. And if you're gonna be running a melee route in 30 FPS console, where you just go straight to the skip, I would highly advise you to reload here while you're opening this door. I'm actually gonna do that just to like emulate it. If you don't do that, there's gonna be an enemy shooting at you while you try to do the skip. If you don't, especially if you don't do it very quickly. So, which is actually the enemy in this other. That one not down there actually, I think. That enemy down there is gonna be around over here and he's gonna see you and gonna try to shoot at you, so that's why you read that. Okay. I'm actually have to reload again just to show this, but okay. Yeah, I guess okay, let's do the thing I usually do where I demonstrate it once and then I'll explain how I do it. Although this one might be like a little bit more up to you how you decide to set it up. So yeah, very quick. Let me see if I can do it first try. Oh, that's close. Almost clean. Just didn't get that immediate roll, which happens sometimes. But yeah, there you go. There's that segment of the skip. Okay, let's go back now. Okay, we're back now to Latria skip segment, but I reloaded just more time, so I have a little more time to explain this, and then try it, and hopefully I get sniped. Okay, the way I personally do Latria skip, which by the way, this is very hard to do consistently, so if this doesn't work for you, maybe try something else, do whatever you want to do, and if it works for you, great. Just, you know, try to make sure you got it consistent before you do it in runs or something. What I like to do to get this skip down, and you might want to watch the controller here a little bit slightly, is I stand as centered as I can and perpendicular to this railing right here. Just face straight into it. Have my camera lined up to where like if I run at it, I won't really move much, or as least possible, like this. But I will be running, of course. But what I do is kind of run straight to it. And then don't move my character, I move my camera slightly. Oops. I move my camera very slightly to where I start running off instead of my character. And then I kind of got used to the angle and like the you know, I got a feel for how the angle would look, or how it would be if it's good. So if you feel like I usually, if I feel like it's gonna go off, I'll realign and do it one more time, like before I fall off. Sometimes I don't catch it. Sometimes I'll run too far and go up to the 3rd floor. This is the first level you start out. You load somewhere over there. That's the archstone. Or I like fall off to the side. To the left, it's not too bad because you can just reload. Especially with GT, it's not too bad. You can just reload to that. But if you do fall to the right, you are gonna have to run all the way back from the that's right there. So yeah, so basically from the beginning of the level. And dying as well, like if you just fall to your death too far or whatever. Yeah, those two things will happen. So just make it back real quick once more. Yeah, they kill the enemy now, so it shouldn't be annoying. Should have done that from the beginning actually. Yeah, that's what happens if you don't reload before the battle. But yeah, so that's how I do it. I also usually two-hand. I don't know, like I don't know, might be placebo effect, but I'm just kind of used to the character's animation like being a little more, like I can understand what's happening with the character more because it isn't as well, like the arms aren't flying everywhere. For me, it just helps visually to know I'm centered or not. Yeah, so I do this slightly. It's probably to left here. No, we're good. Okay. Feel a little slight to left. But yeah, after that, you roll to here. I think you can also walk off. Oh, you may also know that I do a toggle escape when I land. That's just from optimizing. You don't have to do that. Just me optimizing. Yeah, you roll into this or maybe walk into it. Just make sure not to fall over the rail. And then I go to this last little spike and I put myself at about 45 degrees. I put myself 45 degrees, roughly. Like I want to say... Now that I'm explaining, it's a little... Okay, I think this is okay. Let's find out. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, so roughly 45 from there. And then here we are in the 2nd floor. So we start at the 4th. Jump to the 3rd where you started. 2nd floor, this is Rydell. And then you're here. You can roll off immediately, like you might have seen me done before, like in some runs or whatever. Over there to that last floor, that's the 1st floor. Well, actually, can't do anything now because you're actually stuck in the 2nd floor. I'm pretty sure because the door to this way is locked. So let's go back real quick. Okay, we're back. I'm gonna just real quick do this again. Yeah, that's a toggle skip like I was mentioning. Oops. Yeah, I do that for optimizing reasons. Like, you know, once I got comfortable with the skip, I just do that. And then quick setup. Whoop. Ooh. Okay, one thing you should mention is that you definitely can be a little bit too like you can backstep too far and end up like if you don't do the quick jump, you might just fall off and land on the 2nd floor, which is really bad, really bad, because you can't even run up or anything. Yeah, so you have to next to bind out, like I was saying. But also if you land on like the very tippity tip of like the edge, the corner of this railing, you can also, the game might actually register they didn't land on it, and if you roll off immediately, you're actually going to die, which is unfortunate. I think I have a PB where that happens to me. I'll link it in the iCard so you guys can see. It's very rare, and it took me I think until that PB to realize why that happens. But yeah, so I wouldn't be too concerned about that, but maybe just, I don't know, keep note on the angle etc. But yeah, and then lastly, you just roll off at a decent angle, you know. I think roughly 45 as well into here. This one's a little bit like, because you just have to make it inside. You can fall in here too. It doesn't matter. That's where you need to get off anyway. It's no big deal. As long as you make it. Just the only thing I should say is don't land outside. If you land like outside of this little lip, that's bad. You have to next bind again or fall to your death. Whichever one. So yeah, that's how I personally do clever, or not clever, not just skip. If you have a better way, if you find a better way for yourself to do it, that's okay. Like, it's actually a very simple skip to explain and to like show, I would say, but to actually like perform it is really rough. So it's kind of like the opposite of like the spider skip. Like it's very complicated to explain, but very simple to actually do in a way. Yeah, so now we're going to the air trap skip. Okay, so there's going to be this cutscene if this is the first time coming this way. You know, you obviously skip it, but we are talking about this specific ballista. We call it air trap because I don't know, ballista's air. This trap skip doesn't sound too good. I actually don't even know if it's called officially air trap. Okay, so I guess I'll demonstrate how I do this first, like I usually do, and then I'll explain it. So. And then there you go. Easy peasy. Okay, so I'm just playing this because I'm actually going to reload anyway, but yeah, so there's actually a lot more going on there than I might have thought at first. It's not just a case of rolling through, as players often hear or learn about from other people, you know. It's not just a matter of rolling through the arrows. You actually also have to pick up the clever rat ring from this corpse, I believe, and set up HP for clever rat ring. So I actually supposed to have a little bit lower damage, so this probably would have set me to clever rat. I don't think this is it now. That's still way too much. But yeah, if I had lower HP, this would have set me up pretty well. This is why you have this is why you take off armor, by the way. If you notice I have missing my helmet and my chest piece, that's why. Yeah, you can shoot like the enemy up in the revives the boss and stuff. But yeah, so that's why this is also fairly tough. If you must, I definitely would recommend you know, rolling through normally, then turning off the trap and going back to get the ring if you're still learning it and don't feel confident in it yet. And similarly for Latria skip, I would maybe recommend just going through the level, especially if you're doing like magic. But I mean, because you kind of already get some of the keys you need, but it's a little like a minute, I want to say, if you do both. Lost. But yeah, as long as you do the air trap skip at least, like if you go around the proper level for the whole thing, maybe that's a lot more. But yeah, assuming you do maybe you skip the Latria skip but do the air trap, it's like a minute lost, I want to say. Whichever you're starting off, it's not bad. Before I kind of go into depth with the air trap actually happening, I guess I should kind of demonstrate without the hazard what I do. And what I do is I try to have full stamina by the time I'm like around here and start running. And then I try to take this little corner real quick, aim directly at the item that I'm aiming for, which is this. And then I want to stand roughly like I want to say like here, like where my foot is, like look at my left foot, like a little bit to the right of the little crease, this little crease tile. I have my foot a little bit to the right of that. That's a little bit too much, I would say. Maybe that's okay. I don't know. The reason why we need to be such a specific spot is because, well, we are taking damage from the arrows, like I was saying. First of all, we actually need to reach the item, so you need to make sure by the time you roll or something, you are able to pick it up. And yeah, be in that position straight up. And the reason being is because one arrow, if you hit by one arrow, it is not enough HP. It'll set you, I think, maybe a little bit more than that. Somewhere in between the last heal and this one, like somewhere around there. It's not enough health for Clever Rat. If you want to be safe, and only get one arrow, maybe closer to the center, like here, is fine. If you get 2 arrows, that's perfect. You get just enough HP to set up Clever. Especially if you've taken the fall damage from the Latria skip. If you take 3, you're dead. If you don't have full HP. I think if you have full HP, you might actually survive. You have to take 3 arrows. Which I would guess is more like around here. Like if you stand here. Like that would be death. But I mean, that goes across the whole like tile. So if you go too far to the right, you're probably gonna take 2. A little bit too much and you go take 3. So yeah, so that's what happens there. Let me show you one more time, just how I do it. So that's why I take the quickest corner. The reason why I have full stamina here is so that, because the air trap doesn't really start until you're like, I want to say like here, this area. So if you have like full stamina here, and then now it's starting, so it's bam, 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 and then I grab the thing. That's kind of how I run. Like I'm a very big like audio, especially for this skip. On some occasions, so big audio person, so the audio helps me a lot for the rhythm of the arrows. I would definitely practice that first and foremost. Just practice the like rhythm. If you don't have like very good audible audio for yourself, maybe just look at the trap and keep an eye on it. It'll still be the same rhythm, obviously, but I don't know, that's your call, I guess. Yeah, that's how I do it. So let me quickly just demonstrate it one more time, and so you can see. Maybe for this one I'll show what happens if you only take one arrow. Okay, we're back here. This is where I have my save file. So yeah, this I think this HP might be a little bit lower than I'm used to for my setup, but that's okay. I don't think it'll kill me if I have to take 2 arrows. But yeah, let's only take 1. So yeah, just keep an eye when I start running, really. Yes, that's 1 arrow. And you can see it in your character too. Right through my skull, basically. Oh gosh, almost right between the eyes. So yeah, that's how that happens. But yeah, if I'm feeling confident, if I only took 1 arrow, and I want to set up my HP, I do that. If I'm feeling like risking it and I'm not, like, I don't know, like in marathon, I think in the GDQ run I didn't take the full damage, so I, for a second I was like, should I take it from this arrow trap again? And I was like, no, let's not do that, because sometimes I mess it up. But it is a quick like it's almost loses no time to just set up like that. If you don't have an HP and I don't want to do that, you can just take some fall damage over there when you're dropping after killing the guy, and then just get hit by the Black Phantom lady. Let me show you how I do it usually. There's a lot more health than I usually have, but you know, I usually take at least 1 hit. Yeah, usually I take hits like this. I'll take 1 around from her with a dagger. Be careful, because she causes plague. And then block the other. Take 1, block. Take 1, block. That doesn't seem to build up plague fast enough, so block, and there you go. So that should be enough. That actually might have been a little over enough. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, so that's how I do the air trap skip and such. And the Latria skip. Anything else I need to quickly go over? I don't think so. I think that's it. So yeah, just practice that. This is probably one of the hardest. It might be the hardest like thing you have to learn as far as skips and stuff in the run, especially get it consistent. So, but it feels amazing. Like my favorite thing is showing a person who's never seen the 80% run or versus Demon Souls run. Showing them the Latria skip is the best feeling ever, especially when you do it really clean. So yeah, if you want to feel great about yourself, get good at it, practice it a ton. In the air chapter skip as well. Yeah, so I believe the next thing I'm gonna talk about is man-eaters. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, because that's the next big thing that's coming up. After that, I think we're done with Latria, and then after we'll be doing I guess Valley of Defilement thingies. So yeah, look forward to that. Probably I think this video will be scheduled for a Monday, and then Friday will be man-eaters. So that's appropriate. But yeah, you guys, I hope you get this skip down. It's one of my favorites that I've had to learn so far from any game at all, even though I haven't run like that many. Leave any comments below. Look forward to the next video on man-eaters. But yeah, have a good evening, have a good day. Bye bye.